G'day folks, there you go. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then a special g'day to you, and if you're a returning viewer, then thanks for coming back. No, this is not a shootout at the OK Corral. This is a little place we came across. Well, we didn't find it. We were told about it by the fella in the tourist bureau at Murray Bridge, but he kind of undersold it a little bit, and hummed and hard on whether I would go out and have a look at this place. But man, I'm glad I did. This place is amazing. They've gone around South Australia looking for old buildings and things that were going to be condemned or demolished, and brought them back to this place and set it up not like no particular town, but to make it look like what a town might have looked like back in the early 20th century. So they've done an amazing job, really worth having a look at. So now if you hear a little bit of wind and see the trees blowing past, don't panic. About an hour after we left this place, there was a huge storm that went through, so this is just the storm brewing up. So I've tried to cut as much wind out of it as I can. So anyway, grab a seat, grab a drink, and let's get into it. Our last stop in this area, we're going out to have a look at the Pioneer World just outside of Tailem Bend. Out here, blacksmiths out the back. Down the back corner down there, old rail wagons. More sheds out there. Over here you got old wagons and sort of horse-drawn stuff in this shed. And the whole town thing is still over there. We haven't even gone into it yet. This is going to take a while.
Old Tailem Town is more than just a collection of historic buildings. It's a labor of love and a deep dive into South Australia's pioneering past. The town was founded by Peter Squires in 1982. After visiting the pioneer village in Swan Hill, Peter Squires thought it was such a good idea he wanted to do something the same in Tailem Bend. With the family farm now in his hands, he started scouring the country for historic buildings and equipment. Over the years, Squires gathered and restored more than 100 buildings from across the state, moving them to the site near Tailem Bend to create a living museum. Squires was inspired by a desire to save South Australia's disappearing heritage. He began collecting old buildings that were either abandoned or set for demolition, meticulously restoring them and relocating them to the site. His vision was to create a place where people could experience and understand the way of life from the 19th and early 20th centuries.
There are a lot of old pioneer towns around Australia, but I have never seen one quite like this place. The old houses in places like old Tailem Town are more than just structures. They're time capsules. They give us a glimpse into the lives of the people who once inhabited them. Each house tells a unique story, reflected in its architecture, materials, and the small details that remain within. Many of these homes were built in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, often from materials that were locally sourced: stone, timber, and corrugated iron. The designs were practical, suited to the harsh Australian climate, with wide verandas that offered shade and small windows that minimised the intense summer heat. The simplicity of their design reflects the resourcefulness of the settlers, who built homes that were durable and functional, yet still had a sense of style. Inside, the rooms were often small and modestly furnished. A kitchen might have featured a wood-fired stove, a central feature where meals were prepared and family life revolved. The smell of baked bread or a pot of stew simmering on the stove would have filled the air. In the main living area, you'd likely find a sturdy wooden table, where families gathered, not just to eat, but to talk, play games, and read by the light of a kerosene lamp. Bedrooms were often sparse with iron bedheads, hand-sewn quilts, and perhaps a wooden wardrobe or chest of drawers. The walls were sometimes adorned with framed photographs, a luxury at the time, or simple paintings that added a touch of warmth to the space. These rooms were a retreat from the hard work of the day, a place to rest and recharge. One of the most interesting aspects of these old houses is how they evolved over time. Many started as simple 1 or 2 room cottages, gradually expanding as families grew or as the occupants' fortunes improved. These expansions were often done with whatever materials were on hand, leading to a patchwork of styles and construction methods that add to the character of the house. The gardens surrounding these homes were often as functional as they were beautiful. Fruit trees, vegetable patches, and herb gardens were common, providing the household with fresh produce throughout the year. Water tanks and wells were crucial, capturing every precious drop of rain in a region where water was often scarce. Exploring these old houses allows us to connect with the past in a very tangible way. You can almost hear the echoes of the past: kids' laughter, the creak of the floorboards, the hum of the daily chores. Who remembers getting yelled at every time you let the fly-wire door slam shut? Each house is a testament to the resilience, creativity and determination of those who built them, and they stand today as a bridge between their time and ours, inviting us to step into their world, even if just for a few minutes. You know, if it wasn't for all the modern conveniences that we have in our life today, I reckon I could live like this. The machines of the past were the backbone of rural life, powering farms, workshops and homes. They tell the story of time when human ingenuity met necessity, leading to the creation of tools and devices that were robust, durable and often ingeniously simple. The blacksmith shop was a hub of activity in any town, with a forge at its centre. Powered by bellows and later mechanical bellows, these forges heated metal to high temperatures, allowing blacksmiths to shape tools, horseshoes and other essential items. From the days of the blacksmith and the horse-drawn carts to the arrival of machinery, life on the land was undergoing a transformation. The advent of machines lightened the workload on farms, allowing tasks to be completed more quickly and efficiently, which meant more could be accomplished in a single day. The quality of work improved as well. Seeing these machines today with its intricate gears, belts and levers, you can appreciate the mechanical skill involved in keeping it running smoothly. Early automobiles and trucks were also mechanical marvels of their time. These vehicles, often started by hand cranking, featured simple yet sturdy engines that could be repaired with basic tools. They provided a pivotal role in revolutionising transportation and commerce. Throughout the town you'll find a variety of cars and trucks, from delivery vehicles to fire engines. And of course the indispensable mechanic was always there to fix them when you couldn't. Imagine walking through a small bustling town in the early 20th century, where the shops were the heart of the community. Each one had its own unique character and purpose, serving as a vital lifeline for the residents who relied on them for everything from daily necessities to special treats. The general store was often the hub of activity. As you approached, the bell above the door chimed, announcing your arrival. Inside, the shelves were filled with an eclectic mix of goods, everything from flour and sugar to nails and fabric. The storekeeper, a friendly face who seemed to know everyone's name, stood behind the counter ready to weigh out a pound of sugar or to cut a length of cloth. The smell of fresh bread, spices and leather mixed in the air, creating a warm, comfortable atmosphere. Next to the general store, the bakery was a favourite stop for many. The scent of freshly baked bread and pastries wafted through the air, drawing people in from the street. Behind the counter, the baker worked tirelessly, his hands dusted with flour as he kneaded the dough and checked the ovens. The display case was filled with golden loaves, sweet buns and the occasional special treat. Kids often pressed their noses against the glass, eyes wide open with anticipation as they choose their favourite sweet. Across the street, the butcher shop was a place of both necessity and trust. The butcher, dressed in his white apron stained with the day's work, greeted each customer with a smile. Behind the counter, large cuts of meat hung from hooks, while the butcher's block bore the marks of countless chops and slices. Customers would discuss the best cuts for a Sunday roast or select sausages for the week ahead, knowing the butcher took pride in providing the best quality meat. A few doors down, the pharmacy was where people went not just for medicines but for advice and reassurance. The pharmacist, a figure of respect in the community, was always ready to mix a tonic or prepare a remedy for whatever ailment might be troubling you. The shelves were lined with glass jars filled with powders and potions, while the counter displayed various lotions and creams. It was a place of quiet knowledge where a small dose of the right medicine could make all the difference. Further along, the draper's shop offered everything needed for making clothes and furnishing a home. Rolls of fabric in every colour imaginable were stacked high, from sturdy calico to fine silks. Buttons, ribbons and lace were displayed in neat rows, while the draper herself, a skilled seamstress, was always ready to offer advice on patterns or help measure out just the right amount of fabric for a new dress or curtains. When a special event was on the horizon, a wedding, a church gathering or a social dance, women would eagerly make their way to the drapery shop. Hats were an essential part of the ladies' wardrobe, and selecting a new one was an event in itself. The town would quieten down, but the impact for these small businesses would linger. Their doors ready to open again the next morning to continue serving the community they helped to build. It wasn't just shops and houses that defined a town. Schools were the heart of the community, playing a vital role in shaping its future. These schools were more than just places of learning. They were the centres of social life, where children from all walks of life came together and where their values and traditions of the community were passed down to the next generation. On the weekend, everyone would head down to the town hall for a shindig. The ladies might show off their new hat, and the fellas always on the prowl for a possible suitor. As we walked the dusty streets and headed for the exit, there was a quiet understanding that old Tailem Town was more than just a collection of old buildings and artefacts. It was a living testament to the past, a place where memories linger and history is not forgotten. It's a place you leave with a richer sense of where we've been and how it shapes where we're going. What we have today has come from the ingenuity of those from the past to see a problem and design something to solve that problem over and over again.
They bravely wait for the mate, so keep smiling at trouble, for trouble's a bubble, and bubbles will soon go away.
Well, that's it for us. So we've finished the Pioneer Village. Amazing place, well worth coming out to have a look at. And we're just talking to the lady that's running it. She says the owner is still buying stuff to add to it, so this is still growing. So if you're in the area, definitely need to come out and have a look at this. That's it for us in the Murray Bridge area, and tomorrow we leave and we're heading out towards Renmark. Going to Renmark. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more of this sort of stuff, hit the subscribe button down the bottom and there. But until next time, happy travels.